I'm a little nervous. Woo! Now we're cooking. Throw everything away again, so. Anyway, who knows what I'll find? It could be quite the adventure. But I'm not gonna lie, it's always a lot easier when you pick things you know they'll like. Let's try the raspberry butter. Hey, it's a new day and welcome back to my channel. So today is gonna be a little bit different. It is a Saturday and my husband just took the big kids. They went out the door to go with my dad and all the big cousins to an indoor tractor pull. It sounds like a super fun cousin day, but I am gonna be here doing some cooking adventures in the kitchen with my 1-year-old. He's around today, so we'll see how much I actually get done. But I have a couple new things I want to try, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I'm putting the apron on because I'm a little nervous. Whenever I try something new, it's like, ugh. Anyway, might as well look the part, right? So this is like the Mennonite quintessential wedding present, the KitchenAid mixer. And so I've had this ever since I've been married. It's like 10 years old. I just have the classic white one, and it does the job. It's great. Anyway, I ordered an attachment for the front of it. I mean, my mom had a stand mixer growing up, my grandma. I've never seen anybody actually attach anything to the front, but apparently there's all kinds of things you can attach to the front, like a pasta press and different stuff. So I ordered this and it came in the mail last night and we're going to try it out today. It is a grain mill and I'm going to use it to grind some of our own wheat berries to make some bread. And we're going to put the bread in terracotta pots. Have you guys ever been to Terrain? I know there's different ones throughout maybe the eastern seaboard, but they bake bread in terracotta pots. It's so springy, so aesthetic and pretty. And so I want to try to not only grind my own grain and make bread, but do it unconventionally in a terracotta pot. And I am following a blog post, so it's not like I'm going where no woman has ever gone before. Apparently it's been done, so I'm gonna just try to follow that. But let's unbox our grain mill here and get the wheat berries ground up. Okay, here it is, all sparkly, glittery, and new. I'm gonna wash it in the sink. Something with baking bread is that it's a lot of hurrying up and waiting. You know, you're waiting for the yeast to activate or the bread to rise, you're waiting for it in the oven. And so we're gonna do a couple other things throughout the day too, not just bread. In fact, I want to make a spring flavored coffee syrup that not even my mom thinks I can pull off. Thanks, Mom, for the confidence. But let me know down below. I'll let you know when we get to that step. But let me know what you think of when you think of spring coffee flavors, and then yeah, we'll see if you're right. But yeah, first things first. So you see here, this has different settings. So I'm gonna adjust it to the finest one, which I think is the whole way over here. We think. So hopefully that makes flour. Okay, it says not just submerge it in water. And now supposedly you can just pull this attachment off the front here. I've never done this before. And then just insert this in. You guys see that there? It just goes on the front. And it doesn't appear to be too top heavy. I look like I'm going to the moon here. I'm gonna use a really wide open bowl so it can catch all the mess. And then here are my wheat berries. I have hard red wheat because what I've been reading is you want hard wheat when you're making bread for that elasticity and everything. And I think hard white wheat would have been optimal, but they didn't have it. But this is organic hard red wheat from Glenwood Foods, and it's $1.29 a pound. And I tried this before. If you guys have been on my channel, I tried grinding this stuff in my food processor and also the blender, and neither one got very fine. I actually tried just the other day and I put it back in the bag. So there is a few finer bits in there, but yeah, the food processor was not working at all. So I'm really hoping this will work and get the job done. It says it's supposed to. By the way, you can find these on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. That's where I was looking for them for a while, and nothing just ever came up that was on sale that was like worth risking, you know, giving money to a stranger and like everything else. It was all like practically the same price as it is on Amazon. So I will link this one from Amazon, and it came 24 hours later, so that was really nice. But yeah, who knows? I'm gonna keep this for a while. Hopefully I use it a bunch, and if I don't, Maybe it will end up on Facebook Marketplace too. You never know, but I have high hopes. I'm excited. The reason I like to grind my own wheat, one, the taste is supposed to be so much better, but then also you're grinding the whole berry, so your body is getting all of it. It's like a whole food. It's not just getting that refined flour, you know? And then also if you're grinding flour as you need it, it's keeping it nice and fresh, so all the minerals and stuff are intact. So it's really good for you overall. And I just think it sounds fun to do, and I would like to, I don't do sourdough bread. If I wanted to bake bread every week, then I would do sourdough, but I just like to bake bread when I'm in the mood, and then maybe like make a large amount for like gifts or like giving away or for a meal for company or something like that. Yeah, this is just kind of what works for my lifestyle, making bread when I feel like it, not like a super regular thing. And so that's why I thought I would like to try this out. So anyway, I'm going to put some berries in the hopper here. So the recipe calls for 4 cups of flour, but I'm gonna do 2 cups of regular white flour and then 2 cups of the wheat, because I don't think I want it that strong, you know, of wheat, and we're just experimenting here. So there we go. Oops, I forgot to screw this little screw in the back to make sure that's stable. So let's do that. And I'm gonna just supposedly turn this on low. Okay, I'm just on the 2-speed here, and you can see it's coming out. There's little clumps, but I think that's because there was some moisture in my mill from wiping it down. I'm gonna crank it up a notch, see what happens. Woo! Now we're cooking. That took us about 5 minutes. Look at that beautiful flour. Oh my goodness. It's definitely not quite as fine as the white flour, but it's pretty close. And look at that, you can see the different parts, the darker parts and the lighter parts. Oh, just call me Ma Ingalls. My goodness, I love this. Also, supposedly wheat berries store for a really long time. I just have a small amount here. I don't have like those big giant Azure Standard buckets or anything. So I'm just gonna put this in my pantry and hopefully we'll use it up for the next while. I haven't really looked too much into like ways of storing it yet. Like I said, I mean, I'm not committing to the whole lifestyle yet, but since I bought the grain mill, I feel like I really want to give it a good shot. By the way, you can get those trendy like mock mills or Nutri-Mills. They're so pretty and like, wow, but then it's also another thing to store on your counter. And yeah, I already have my KitchenAid mixer per my aunts. I think they bought this for me for my wedding. So it was the perfect solution. Apparently there's so many different grains you can grind with this, so I look forward to experimenting in the future. Okay, while I'm waiting for the yeast to activate, I am gonna take my vitamins. I've been taking Ritual's postnatals, prenatals, and women's multivitamins over the years, and I'm working with them on today's video. And I think you guys should try out Ritual because the whole origin story of Ritual was started by a pregnant mother who was looking for actual ingredients that she could trust. On their website, you can trace exactly where every mineral is sourced from, and their prenatals actually have 12 key nutrients in them, and their postnatals have 15. They're high quality, vegan friendly, non-GMO, gluten-free, and allergen-free, and they've been third-party tested. If you look at their capsules up close, you'll see that they are delayed release, which means you're getting your nutrients to the places they belong, so they can come right to your door and you never have to worry about running out. And for those of you that are pregnant and wondering, ugh, taking prenatals, it makes you want to throw up. They smell amazing. These here smell like mint, so they're definitely friendly on your stomach, and you can actually take them without any food. Ritual goes above and beyond industry standards because they seek the most rigorous certifications and testing every batch of products for heavy metals, microbes and allergens. They just want to make sure that you're putting the proper things into your body. And Ritual, hi Miller. And Ritual is founded on trust. So right now you can get 20% off of your first month when you use my code. I'll put the link down below for you. It's always nice to have a little incentive to get started, especially on a good habit that you know you want to do. Okay, as you can see here, the yeast mixture is getting nice and bubbly. It's been about 12 minutes, I would say. So I'm gonna add it to the bowl with my all-purpose flour, my fresh wheat flour, and the salt. And then we're just gonna mix it till it's well combined and let it rise in the oven. The blog I'm following, called Alexandra Cooks, she has a great tip for getting a warm space. She just said to turn your oven on to start preheating for 1 minute and then turn it off again. And then you can just set your dough in the warm oven and it'll work. So I'll link her whole recipe down below, her method. What are you doing, Miller? What are you doing? You having a snack? Yeah, I think you're getting a little sleepy, huh? Okay, this is what our flour mixture is looking like at the moment. Wash off my oven liner. It is full of just like little pieces of stuff, but this is so satisfying because if it wasn't for my oven liner that I put in the bottom, I would have all this on the bottom of my oven and it would be 50 times harder to get rid of. So yay for oven liners. I'll link the ones I have. Pots at Walmart, and I'm not going to tell you exactly how I cured them because I want you to look that up for yourself. I'm not going to recommend anything specific because it's an experiment for me too, and I want you to feel safe with whatever you're doing. But it did involve soaking them for a while and putting them in the oven to cure and oiling them up and some things like that to try to season the insides. And now I'm supposed to just take a tablespoon of butter and really get in there because we can't have that yummy bread sticking. Ew, yuck. A whole tablespoon seems like a lot. Wow. Okay. I trust you, Alexandra. Okay, so making bread is just a lot of waiting around. Right now we're waiting for an hour to 2 hours for the bread to rise in the oven. And so while that's happening, I have a couple things I want to do. First of all, if you're wondering where Miller is, I put him down for a nap. I don't think he slept the greatest last night, and he needed a nap. So I'm trying to decide here what honey to use because yes, I am making honey coffee syrup, and my mom was like, ew. She's like, I can see you putting that in tea and stuff, but in coffee. But I know there are people out there, my friend had made me a coffee once that had honey in it. It was good. But I'm trying to decide if I want to use up my expensive honey on this, especially since it's just kind of an experiment, because I don't know if it's going to work or not. But at the same time, it's like I want it to taste really good and not like, you know, bear honey. This is the stuff from Aldi. No offense, but I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It says ingredients. Honey, so I guess there's no corn syrup in there. I don't know. Do we trust it? But our youth group gave out honey to the moms on Mother's Day last year, and honey keeps forever. So I think I'm for sure gonna use this one, the whole thing. I need 2/3 of a cup of honey, so that's a lot. We'll see here if it works out. I mean, it has to, right? Basically, all you do is put everything on the stovetop until the honey dissolves, You don't have to boil it or anything. And boom, you have honey coffee syrup. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, I'm gonna add a splash of my expensive local honey. Okay, that was a very healthy splash. And then I think the rest, I'm gonna just use the leftovers of this Berry Hill stuff that supposedly is just honey. Aldi, you got us, right? Vigorously getting every little drop. Honey is not cheap, as it should not be if you really think about how it gets made. It's crazy how good honey is, and it comes from an insect. I look like a barista in my apron here. Anyway, I just peeked on the bread. I think we're gonna let it go about another hour, which means I wanna get Miller up from his nap and take a coffee over to my mom to prove her wrong. I know she's at home this morning, and I'm gonna see what she thinks. So the way I've been making my iced coffees lately is you start with ice, and then I put a healthy dose of heavy whipping cream in the bottom, maybe almost a quarter cup, not quite. And then I fill it to the 200 ml line, which is like halfway full. And use my little whip. I don't know why I waited so long to buy one, but this is like ideal. And I foam it up till it's almost at the top and like it's gonna spill. And then I pour that mixture over the ice a little bit, just to give the ice some cushion, because then I have a double espresso shot here. One of my subscribers is a super talented coffee roaster, and I actually used her espresso beans, but her brand is called Sip. And so I've been using this lately, and it's very good. So now I'm gonna put this in. It's cooling down a little bit in the fridge, but it's still pretty warm. Okay. And then I have our honey syrup sitting in the freezer trying to chill down a little bit. Then I go back in and I take my remaining half of milk and I really foam it good. And there's heavy whipping cream in here, so that makes it extra foamy. And I just go to town for a little bit. And then this is gonna be like kind of the cloud on the top. This is mine, by the way. If it's good, well, I'm gonna take mom one too, but ooh, there we go. So pretty. This is a to-go cup. Should I taste it here, or should I take it over to my mom and we can both taste it at the same? I have to taste it because I gotta get her to like it. So anyway, I'll meet you over there and we'll see what she thinks. A straw? Do you have a straw to stir it up?
It looks pretty.
Do you taste the honey?
No, I don't.
What do you think of it?
It's good. It tastes a little bit like
See,
Shady Maple. What's it called?
Twin Valley. Oh, that's a compliment. Yeah, I like it. I think it's good. It's not like my go-to. I think I'll still do the brown sugar. What did you say you thought of it? You didn't think you tasted any honey?
I didn't taste the honey in particular.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think it's a winner. 4 stars, I would say. Anyway, let's take Miller outside here. Here comes a kitty. Oh, kitty, kitty.
Better go outside to the kitty.
See the cows. Okay, we just got back. Got to log in some time outdoors, which is always great, but it's been exactly 2 hours. This bread has got to be done. Okay, here she is. Wow, look at that. I don't know why it's so like moist. It's definitely not the kneading type of dough, but it doesn't say to knead here, so maybe that's how it's supposed to be? I don't know, I feel a little skeptical. Oh, I'm a little annoyed. Why is it so like wet? I thought we were gonna have like a nice dough here, but it says plop. And that's literally the adjective I would use. You literally plop the bread in. I looked over all the ingredients again and I followed all the directions. Why do I do this to myself on camera? Okay, according to these, I followed the directions, so. Okay. I only have 4. I decided just to do 4. They're like half full. And now we're supposed to sit. Let's see, it says, plop it in one of the buttered flower pots. Repeat until all the dough has been portioned into the pots. It's okay if they aren't evenly portioned. Place the pots on a rimmed baking sheet. Let the dough rise for about 30 minutes on the countertop near the oven or until it has risen to just below the rim of the pot. Be patient, it may take longer. Bake for 15 minutes. Reduce heat to 375 and bake for 15 minutes longer. Okay. We're gonna just keep going, we're committed now. But while we wait for the oven to preheat and for this dough to rise, I'm gonna get Miller a little lunch and I wanna make some raspberry butter. I found a recipe, I've done this before, I'm very confident with this. I did strawberry butter last spring and it was delicious. So raspberry butter on homemade bread, that's just what I'm craving right now. Look how pretty this stuff is. Oh my goodness. And my bowl is absolutely messy. I like to whip it up because, I don't know, it makes it fluffier or something. Flower pot bread loaves with raspberry butter would be like amazing Mother's Day gifts, no? I actually have a bunch of new products coming to our Fox Sparrow page, so you'll have to check that out. We have a new leather bag I'm so excited about we're launching, and yeah, just a couple other things, so check that out. Yeah, of course it's good. I was never so disgusted with myself as I was yesterday. I was running around looking for Christmas. I asked my sister-in-law, she had my name, and I was like, I'm gonna put some fun stuff on the list so that, you know, she's only 13 or whatever. I was like, let her have something fun to shop for me. And so on my gift registry, I had put a pack of like 100 water bottle stickers, and I wanted to put them on my water bottle yesterday. I looked and I looked. I spent an entire hour looking through all my cupboards and drawers and like little nooks and crannies trying to find these stickers. And is it so good? Is it so good? Yeah, trying to find the stickers. And I didn't find the stickers, but I found so many things that were out of place or just like, why do I have this? Or usually I'm really proud of myself. I feel like I try to have a good balance. I am very intentional with my mothering and different stuff like that, but I was never so grouchy at myself for my housekeeping skills as I was yesterday. And so I just want to this is a project for next week. I'm just going to go through every cupboard again and just get rid of water bottles we don't use. Take the jars down to the jar shelves. There's a lighter upstairs in the kids' bathroom drawer. I don't know why they don't need a lighter up there. I mean, it's not like the kids can turn it on or anything. It's a safety thing, but still, like, there's random stuff in random drawers everywhere, and I don't know how it happened. I have a hunch, like my sister, when she comes and cleans for me, she probably just sees things and she doesn't know where they go, and instead of just bringing them down to the kitchen and having me put them away, she just makes her best guess. And so there's just random stuff everywhere. I feel like a Amelia Bedelia house sometimes, which is so, I mean, it makes sense. When I have people coming over, I try to make the house look good and smell clean and all that, but I'm not really going through my cupboards and stuff when guests are coming, you know, that's behind closed doors. I'm a ladybug if you look up the organization systems, and I like to have stuff in big containers behind closed doors. Like open shelving would be a nightmare for me unless I was just styling it for pretty. So if you're feeling like a little disgusted with your homemaking, I get it. I feel like it's really hard to have your ducks in a row in every area. Anyway, it's just a reminder that if you let things go for too long, it will build up and there's gonna be like a breaking point at some point, and I just want to throw everything away again, so I won't do that, but I'm gonna try to put things back where they belong in all the hideaway places and things like that. So anyway, who knows what I'll find. It could be quite the adventure. Do you love your noodles? Do you love them? I gave him chicken noodle soup and he is a fan. Okay, the oven is preheated and it's been like 35 minutes. They are still not risen to the top, but I feel like at some point they're gonna start falling again. So I'm just gonna put these in the oven and hope for the best. I am not feeling confident at the moment. I mean, at least we have our pretty raspberry butter here, but guys, why do I do this? Okay, I'm gonna stop whining and put these in the oven. So the bread has 5 more minutes in the oven and it's looking fine. The pots are just not full of bread like I was envisioning in my head. I was like picturing them popping up out of the top of the pot, you know? But yeah, they'll be ready in like 5 minutes. My dryer's going. I need to fold some laundry and then I'm gonna put Miller down for a nap. But before I do all that, I was making skewers, beef skewers for tomorrow for lunch. Tomorrow is Sunday and I don't cook on Sundays. It's not how I grew up. My mom made good Sunday lunches, like all the stuff, meat, potatoes, veggie, bread, all of it. But I don't really. Sundays are a pretty chill day, so I'm just making kabobs here, and then Josh will grill them tomorrow when we get home from church. And they look really good. The funny thing is though, none of us like all of the things that I'm putting on here. Like Josh likes the onions, I like the peppers and the tomatoes. The kids won't eat anything probably except the meat, the mushrooms, and the maybe a pepper if I'm lucky. I mean, I like to offer stuff every time, even if I know they're not gonna like it, or I'm pretty sure they won't. You never know, because, I mean, especially Miller, he's only one. You know, one day he'll eat eggs and the next day he won't. He is like all into noodles right now, and a little bit ago he wouldn't touch them. So you just have to offer it every time, and I don't plan my meals around my kids, but I'm not gonna lie, it's always a lot easier when you pick things you know they'll like. But the reason I'm making beef skewers is because I'm kind of at the end of our cow, our beef. We have half of a beef in our freezer, and we're getting another quarter this spring. So I'm trying to use up some of our last cuts, like these beef cubes. They're just kind of tough. It's like, what do you do with them? My mom would make beef stew sometimes, but Josh does not like all those veggies mixed in with meat. I don't know, it's just not his thing. I personally love it. But anyway, I'm making, goodness Miller, careful, that's honey. Oh my. He's playing grocery store with all my pantry items, which is fine, it's great, but I don't trust that honey lid. Anyway, yeah, I feel like we don't go through our roasts and our beef cubes as quickly as we should. And we always get a ton of ground beef and a ton of burgers because, yeah, we do a lot of that. All the steaks that we can get, we always get those. I do a little bit of dry beef and then a lot of chip steak as well because we love cheesesteaks and cheesesteak strombolis, things like that. Really easy to make and they're just so good. A lot of burgers and steaks is what we kind of go for, and that's what we eat a lot of. And then I just fill in with like pork and chicken from Butcher Box. I would love to get a couple of chickens in my freezer, but we always end up filling it up with beef. Oh, no, it's not yummy. It's not yummy. Here, let me wash my hands. I'll give you a tomato. You want a tomato? Yeah, you may have a tomato. Another nice thing about kebabs is like it's a whole meal in one, and then you could just make some potatoes or asparagus or something. I'm probably just gonna actually serve this and the homemade bread if it turns out. Please let it turn out. I really should not be filming experiments like this, but I feel like it's kind of an adventure. You guys can come along, but it definitely does humble me when things don't turn out exactly like planned. But I have a whole website with all my favorite recipes, and those are tried and true, tested, make them for guests, for company, my family. And these kebabs, oh, another one. And these kebabs are amazing. Oh, there's my timer. And I have them on my website, and we make these constantly, so definitely try these out. You won't be disappointed. Unlike this bread, I don't know. So I just got the bread out of the oven after following the instructions to a T, and there was still moisture in the dough. Like, it definitely wasn't done. I'm wondering if it's because my pots are a little bigger than hers. So I'm glad I was able to just pop one out and see that. So I put them back in again. We're gonna give it another 15 minutes at 350, and then yeah, we'll see what they turn out like. It smells really good. So, and I feel like bread is bread as long as you can get the texture right. So we shall see. It's definitely not a slam dunk because of the pot size. She said she did small pots, which I thought mine were small, but apparently hers were even smaller because she got 6 loaves and I only got 4. So it makes sense that the time would be a little bit longer. So I'm not giving up on this recipe yet. I feel like it's right. It's just that my pots are a little larger than hers. Okay, the kebabs are done, and I had some leftover meat, so I just threw it in my little crock pot with some salt and pepper and water, and I'm just gonna cook it really slow the rest of the day. And I have leftover gravy in the fridge, so I'll make like some kind of beef gravy concoction to maybe eat over toast or straight. I don't know, eat it with some roasted vegetables or something. We will see, but my bread is done here in 5 seconds, and this will be the moment of truth. We'll see if it's actually done. This is why you try stuff though when you don't actually have a plan. Like, I don't need to give this to anybody. Nobody's expecting this. So if it doesn't work out, I just let you guys down and that was it. So there it is. Do I cut it just to see? I think another 10 minutes would do it. Okay, back we go. Okay, I actually added about 45 minutes at 350 to the time because of the size of my pots, and I'm getting them out now. Sadly, I did have to cut the one down the middle, but it looks like we're done now finally. And I wanted to show you, I use pots with a hole in the bottom, which is actually fine, totally works, but it's a really actually kind of nice way to release the bread from the pots. You just can pop off the little dough at the bottom, which is like a plug. And then you could actually see the dough release from the bottom of the pot, and then you could just boom, dump it out. So that makes it really easy. So I'm gonna coat these in some butter for a little gloss and flavor, of course. And then we're going to, I think we'll taste them in about 20 minutes when they're a little bit cooled down and see what they're like. I don't know. I'm definitely a little more hopeful than I was earlier. It smells amazing. I think that's why. Okay, it is still warm yet. I think, to be fair, I need to try a piece without the raspberry butter, and then we'll try a piece with the raspberry butter. So you can see the air pockets, and unlike that other time I tried to make the flour by grinding it in the blender, there's no little seeds or anything small. You don't see any specks like that, but it does have that nice weedy color. Also, I'm noticing there's a nice crust on it, which I love. Maybe that's not your thing. I definitely think this would be really good bread for like a butter board or something, like with this texture, but why am I talking too early? I didn't even taste it yet. Okay, it's still warm, so that might also give it some extra points, but it said you can sprinkle sea salt on it, which I think would be really good too, or you could add rosemary or something. Let's try the raspberry butter. I'm sure this would make even bought bread taste good. It's a generous portion. It makes me excited for summer. That is good. Maybe you guys have a recipe that you've tried in a flower pot and you know that it works with the right timing and everything. That would be awesome too. But I would say if you do use that link, I would put it at 350 after that for at least another half hour. If your pots are the size of my pots, which is like 3 inches at the base and 5 inches at the top. So anyway, thank you guys for coming along on today's adventures. It was definitely, I feel like bread making is so much work, you know, back and forth with it, but if you're in the kitchen already, it doesn't seem as bad since I got a lot of other things done. I even have beef cubes going here that I was not planning on, and kabobs are ready for tomorrow. My mom and I tried our honey flavored coffee syrup. So yeah, it's been a journey, it's been a day. Tonight I have my nephew's birthday party to go to. He's turning 1, so that will be exciting, and my kids should be back from the tractor pull soon. So as we close out the video, I'll put a few clips of what they did today. I can't wait to see. I'm sure they had a lot of fun. But anyway, thanks for being here. Check out Ritual and get your 20% off of your first month, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.